I have never seen this before in my life. Jose Altuve took his sock off the show where he got hit because the umpires did not believe that he got hit on a foul ball. They still called him out. Aaron Judge and Ohtani are cruising to MVPs. Judge drove in a zillion more runs and Ohtani hit one a zillion feet. He is so close to a 50-50 season. Bryce Harper, he's won a few MVPs himself. He's trying to unlock that power again heading into the playoffs. Ronald's little brother, Luis Angel, he is showing up big time for the Mets in replacement of Francisco Lindor, and this play right here might have cost the Braves their entire season. Stay tuned for that. So we'll talk about all of that and more in today's MLB recap. And guys, don't forget that recap is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use code Fuzzy to save 20 bucks off all of your tickets. And if you have not downloaded Underdog Fantasy, my favorite daily fantasy app, if you download with my code Fuzzy, they'll match your first deposit up to $1,000. And I got 2 free picks for you guys, completely free. Just download with my code Fuzzy. So I can't believe that this is real, but this is real. The GM of the Orioles literally just said that they've lost their mojo, which is a not great thing to hear heading into the playoffs. Blake Snell, he turned in a vintage Blake Snell start, whereas Albert Suarez, he got lit up by the Giants offense. Mike Yastrzemski, he's up to 16 home runs, and after a sac fly, Yaz drove in another because Grant McCray, he can fly, he scores easy. He showed off the speed again, talking about McCray. McCray then stole a base later in the game. He's now in scoring position for Donovan Walton, and Walton drove him home. Suarez, he's out after 3 1/3, while Blake Snell, he allowed just 1 base hit over 6 scoreless. He had 12 punchies. He has a 1.3 ERA and 105 strikeouts his last 74 innings. By the way, guys, Blake Snell has the Major League Baseball record for strikeouts per 9. He has a career 11.2 strikeouts per 9. Grant McCray got on again. He stole another bag. Craig Kimbrell is imploding. That's a wild pitch. And then he walked Walton, so wisely had an RBI bunt. McCray is just way too fast to throw out. Lamont Wade Jr., yeah, that is a 2-run knock off of you-know-who, Craig Kimbrell. Elliot Ramos banged an RBI double off the wall. Kimbrell, he gave up 6 runs on 3 base hits, 2 walks. He's allowed 23 runs his last 18 innings. The opposing hitters are batting .303 over those last 18 innings. As Conforto, he ends the game with a 2-run line drive. The Orioles, yeah, they have lost their mojo, but then again, they've been depleted by injuries. The Orioles got spanked around while the Yankees did the spanking down in Seattle. The captain now has 134 RBIs after his 35th double to score on that swing. The Mariners, they loaded them right up though. Momentum is all on, or at least it was about to go on their side. It's gone now because Robles, he tried to catch Luis Hill napping on a 3-0 count. He gave himself the green light to run. He's thrown out to end the frame. He hurt his hand at the same time. He might be missing a few days. Judge, another 2 ribby knock, 4 RBIs, gives him 136 on the season. I want to see 140 so bad. Polanco, man, he just stunted on that pitch. Seattle, I just want to say this. It looks so beautiful at night, and Juan Soto, I mean, that's a beautiful swing. He's never homered in Seattle until that swing. His 40th home run of the season checks off so many boxes. So that's his first 40th home run. That's also a home run in every single ballpark, 30 for 30. And that was his 200th career home run. So many milestones on one single swing. The Martian, he's on the board now. It's 7-1 Yankees. That's his first of the season. Austin Wells, he's going to get a chance with the bases loaded, but he's facing a lefty. The kid rakes. A base clearing double. Is he going to win Rookie of the Year, or is it Luis Hill? Because Luis, he was really good. 5 strikeouts over 5 innings, just 1 run allowed. He has a 3.1 ERA and a 10.5 strikeouts per 9. Or is it still Colton Cowser, maybe a Willie Abreu or Cade Smith? The Yankees ran it up to 11 as Stroman, yes, Marcus Stroman finished off the 9th inning, and the Yankees, they move 4 games ahead of the Orioles in first place in the AL East. All right, here it is. The Jose Altuve foot game. Okay, so the Astros went up a few after John Singleton crushed a 900-foot RBI double. That is satire. Bregman, he scores on a Jeremy Pena ground out. And Hunter Brown, he was dealing 5 scoreless and at one point set down 11 in a row until Tatis, he snapped it. And unfortunately for Hunter Brown, the umpire, even though he might have helped him on this pitch, he made Manny Machado angry. So the umpire called ball for a strike. Then it happened again. Now, that one was a whole lot closer. It's probably borderline, but it's a 3-2 count, and now it's a tie ball game because Manny, with his 4th season with 100-plus RBIs, he ties the ball game up, and check this out. Manny now has 69 RBIs over his last 73 games, almost an RBI every single game. He has 362 doubles, 340 home runs, almost 100 defensive run saves. He's going to cartwheel into the Hall of Fame if he does this for another 2 or 3 seasons. To the 8th inning we go. The Astros loaded him up. You have a wild pitch from Adam. Jordan ran into Adam. I don't think it was on purpose. Maybe he should have slid good? I don't know, but we have some drama in the next inning. A timer violation was called. Justin Verlander, he's yelling, but Josh Hader said he stepped off, so it's not a pitch violation. He has a disengagement, so it's not a 1-0 count. The very next pitch, a wild pitch allows Tatis to score. Tatis could have crawled home and he still would have made it. So it's back to a tie game and frustrations are boiling for the Astros. You can see that Jason Hayward snapped a bat over his knee, and here we go. Altuve, he fouled a ball off of his big toe, and they said that it didn't hit him. He took off the sock to show his big purple toe because it got bruised, and then he got ejected, obviously. We will never see that ever again. I will put money on that. So now we're in the 10th inning. Kyle Tucker, he plates Gray Kessinger for the go-ahead run. Jerkson Profar, he did not get hit, but they said he got hit. And they went to replay, and they confirmed that he got hit despite not getting hit. What is going on? Look at JV. He's in disbelief. And look at Gray Kessinger. That is a walk-off web gem. And Jerkson Profar, he was actually yelling at the umpires as the game ended because he said, I did not get hit. He thinks that he would have walked it off had he been allowed to stay in there and hit. What an absolutely crazy game. Oh no, Bobby Miller, he might actually be broken. This LA pitching staff is really worrying me heading into the playoffs because Gavin Lux, he can't handle that as Jesus Sanchez grabs an RBI. Jesus brought home another run after Jonah Bride knocked in one, so Miami ended up with 4 runs after 2 innings off of Bobby Miller. I don't know if he's going to make the playoff roster. I'm going a little bit quick because I wanted to get to this. Ohtani, he's staring at that ball. He stood there for 4 or 5 seconds. That's 48 home runs and 48 stolen bases. What did I just say out loud? Max Muncy, he split the gap, so it's 4-4 on the 2-run double. Both teams then traded some solo home runs. The start to this recap has been bananas. Otto Lopez, he stays red hot, and Miguel Rojas, he hit a home run in his former park. He's got a 120 OPS plus ever since the Dodgers traded for Ahmed Rosario last year and kind of threatened Rojas' job. He's really locked in. Connor Norby, that's a double. Jesus Sanchez, a double as well. He had 3 RBIs in 4 innings, so it's 6-5 Miami, 7-5 Miami because Kyle Stowers, he laced a go-ahead 3-bagger. He scored Jesus Sanchez on that swing, and again in the 6th inning. This time, though, it's an RBI double. He has 9 extra base hits and 12 RBIs his last 17 starts. Talking about Kyle Stowers. Jesus Sanchez went 5 for 5. He raised his batting average from 244 to 252, 8 points in a single game. Jake Berger, it's been a minute, but that is 26 home runs. The Marlins, they were up by 4, and it's back to a 2-run game because Muncy, he had a huge 5 RBI night. It's just that Tommy Edman struck out. He could not hit another home run. He's been a machine lately. The Dodgers, they need Tony Gonsolin back. They need Gavin Stone back. They need pitchers back ASAP. We're going to go straight to the NL wildcard side of things, and Mark Vientos, he's got to be punching air on the inside because Luis Acuna, he's got to catch that ball, at least in my opinion. So that's an error to Mark Vientos. That's why he's punching air on the inside. James Wood, he had an RBI on his 22nd birthday. Yes, he's only 22, but at least Luis made up for it. Now, I don't know if it's Luis Angel or they're shortening it because on the broadcast they say Luis. So for right now, I'm just going to say Luis. If you guys want me to say Luis Angel, let me know in the comments down below. But that's his first extra base hit and RBI all in the same swing. And it's just insane that his approach is basically a carbon copy of his older brother Ronald Acuna Jr.'s approach. Pete Alonso finally clutched up with runners in scoring position, and that's kind of been the trend all year where he's not been clutch, but in this game he was really clutch. We'll talk about in a second. Old Troll, my goodness, that ball was absolutely catapulted, and here we go. Pete, he got more clutch. A 3-run towering blast. He's got 33 home runs and 15 RBIs his last 20, and it's really cool to see him turning it up as the season ages because, again, he's a free agent, and the Mets are fighting for a wild card spot. Luis Angel, is that his first career home run? That backswing is crazy. It's legit the same swing and follow-through as his big brother. He's 5 for his first 11. By the way, shout out to Tyler McGill, who went 6 innings, just 2 base hits. The Mets have won 2 games in a row without Francisco Lindor. Braves fans don't love hearing that, but they do love seeing this. Michael Harris, he cranked a leadoff home run on the 2nd pitch of the game, and Matt Olson, he ripped another lefty tater. He's hitting over 320 his last 20 games, and that's big for the Braves if they want to make the playoffs. Brandon Williamson, I felt so bad for this guy. As he threw a pitch, he said something popped, so he leaves with an elbow sprain. I'm hoping that he's going to be okay. Fernando Cruz, 3 consecutive walks. Ramon had an RBI up the middle. That's Ramon Laureano, by the way. It was stopped by Ellie, but he couldn't make the flip to end the frame. And then later, Jorge Soler, he secured a 7-game hit streak with a solo home run. It was all Braves, until this play. With 2 outs in the 6th inning, after Cincinnati scratched home a few runs, Arcia and Urshela, they almost collided. They missed the catch, and it hurt them big time because Noelvi, he had a rocket RBI double, but because Harris bobbled it, 2 ended up scoring. So it's just the 1 RBI for Noelvi, but it's back to a 1-run game when the man who rakes got his chance. Spencer Steer, he gives the Reds a lead. He joins the 2020 club, by the way. He's got 33 doubles, 20 home runs, 91 RBIs, 25 stolen bases. He's a flat-out fantasy god. Alexis Diaz, he finished it off with 2 strikeouts. He has 28 saves. The Braves have lost 3 games in a row, and they're 2 games back of that 3rd and final wildcard spot. Heading on over to the AL wildcard, the Tigers are trying to win their 3rd game in a row and hopefully get within a half game of that final wildcard spot. Matt Vierling, that's a great start, an RBI 2-bagger. Bobby Witt Jr. just made some history. He's the first shortstop ever with back-to-back 30-30 seasons, and I think that Lindor could very well join him if he comes back soon, and hopefully that is soon. Bobby just turned 24. Here are the last 5 or 6 guys that had 100 doubles, 100 stolen bases, and 80 home runs by their age 24 season. Bobby Witt Jr., Ronald Acuna Jr., Mike Trout, Andrew Jones, A-Rod, and Barry Bonds. That's some insane company. He scored a few moments later as Michael Massey delivered again. Casey Mize got in a heap of trouble. If this ball drops, the Royals are going to win. Parker Meadows, like a gazelle. He's 6'5" with top 7% speed. He's an insane defender. Cole Reagan's looking like Cole Hamels again. 6 strikeouts over 7. He worked around 4 walks. This one needed extras. Lucas Urseg, come buddy, he balked. That was awful timing because Sweeney, he probably doesn't score, at least in my opinion, if he had been at second base. Parker Meadows picks up the RBI. Urseg then had a 4-pitch walk with 2 outs. Parker's the second base, and Bobby could not handle this scorcher off the bat of Riley Green. Parker scores. Jason Foley converted his 25th save. His ERA is officially back under 3. The Royals have lost 3 in a row. The Tigers have won 3 in a row, and they have the best record in baseball at 24-10 since August 11th. This doesn't happen too often, but yeah, Tigers fans are now rooting hard for the Guardians because a Minnesota loss would put the Tigers at a half game back of the playoffs. But unfortunately, my team wet the bed offensively. Full credit to the Minnesota staff. It's 1-0 Minnesota on a Matt Wallner screamer. Jeffers, he scores easy. Lane Thomas was the only guy who drove in a run. He did it on his 13th home run, 425 feet on a line. He's got 11 extra base hits already in September and an OPS over 1,000. It was 1-1 after 4, but that didn't last too long as Buxton, he laced a double to the gap. And Matt Wallner, he drove in his 2nd RBI. He was 0 for 17 coming into this game. Willie Castro, the 2024 All-Star, sent out a laser beam 2-run home run, his first extra base hit this month. And then, even though the Twins had a lot of trouble in the 9th inning, Griffin Jax, he does get the job done 24 hours after giving up a game to Kyle Manzardo. The Twins, they stay a game and a half up in the wild card. Boston was in the wild card race for what seemed like the entire season, but their season is probably cooked. I'm so sorry, Pesky Talk, my editor. Please go give him some virtual hugs. Tristan Casas, he did sock a 2-run tater, only to have Junior Caminero and Josh Lowe tied up with some solo home runs. Junior Caminero has some of the best bat speed in the entire game, and Josh Lowe, he's trying to make up for his injury-riddled season. Remember, he had 20 home runs and 32 stolen bases last year. Jose Siri, the worst player of all time, the 3rd solo home run for the Rays, and he wasn't done there. But the other LOWE guy went yard. This is Brandon Lau with a 2-run lefty-lefty rocket. He's Lau. The other guy is Josh Lowe, and Josh Lowe does have a brother. He's on the Rangers, Nathaniel Lowe. The Rays are having a blast in the dugout, and again, they've been blasting off, so might as well. Shane Baz, he was brilliant after that 2-run Casas home run, 7 innings and 6 strikeouts, just 2 base hits, by the way. Romy, thanks for caring. He's still trying to get this game within reach. He mashes lefties. He's got a 140 OPS plus versus Southpaws this year. Jose Siri, he just missed that catch. And Tyler O'Neill just missed this catch. Jose Siri, he clears the bases on that failed web gem. He's batting 192 with a stinky, awful, terrible 262 on base, but he's got 18 home runs, 14 stolen bases, 16 outs above average defensively, and he's top 1% in speed and has one of the best arms in baseball. Again, worst best ever. Kevin Kelly, I don't even really know who this guy is, but he's now gone 20 1/3 scoreless without allowing a single run. He has a 0 ERA since July 23rd. The Red Sox, I cannot believe I'm saying this. They're now under 500 and 5 games back with 11 games left. It's been a long recap, so we're going to try and breeze through these final 6 games. Shea, not Langoliers, Bangoliers, he extends his career high in home runs by 2. Wait for a second home run, but that was a 2-run majestic home run, and Lawrence Butler, good Lord, man, he's batting .320 with 20 home runs and a .656 slugging since July 2nd. Since July 2nd, Lawrence is 5th in slugging. Brent Rooker is 3rd. So the A's have, they literally had kind of too many judges on their team since the start of July. Ian Happ got one to just leave. He's up to 24 home runs. And the Cubs, they got within one after Bush dropped in an RBI flare. And it's back to a 2-run lead for the A's because Shohei, he had his second of the night. He has 28 home runs, and you can't steal on the guy. That is very, very valuable. He just really has to work on framing. Ian Happ, no way. Off of Mason Miller, and Mason Miller chucked that thing 103.2. That's the fastest pitch hit for a home run in the StatCast era. Happ has 25 home runs, and that was number 150 for his career. 104 does end it. Mason, he got mad. That's 26 saves as the A's, they beat the Cubs 4-3. Chicago drops to 6 games back of the wild card, while St. Louis, they gained a game to get it back within 7. Again, take this all with a grain of salt because there's like 11 or 12 games left for each team. Brian De La Cruz, just his second as a Pirate. That was the only run that the Pirates scored. Luken Baker, he wanted a home run too, and I thought that Brian Reynolds had it, but Luken, the 6'5", 290 big man, I'm almost willing to put money on the fact that that will be the only triple of his entire career. Jordan Walker, I feel like he has a lot of these ahead of him. He's going to have a big 2025. That's his 4th home run of September. Maybe he's finally starting to figure it out. Lance Lynn, he adjusted himself after striking out Triolo, and Triolo almost looked back like, there's no way that you just did that. Lynn, he had a double play to end the 5th, and he ended up going 6 innings as Rowdy Tellez just missed a home run. The two big boys were laughing at each other. Ryan Helsley, he's trying to keep up with Emmanuel Clase for the MLB lead in saves. He has 45 saves after striking out 2 more. He hasn't allowed an earned run in 13 games, and he has 19 strikeouts over those last 13. He's so good. Milwaukee can clinch this game with the W because they needed the Cubs to lose. Check that box off. Frankie Montas has been a stud lately. He's back to throwing 97-mile-per-hour four seams and sinkers. He's facing off against Zach Wheeler, and Zach was also locked in. That is the 200 strikeout of the season for Zach. Castellanos, what a swing. He pulled a sinker for his 21st home run. His OPS plus is at 99. I got to see him in that 100 club. Garrett Mitchell, he hit the gap. The dude can really fly it, so that's an easy RBI triple. William Contreras was lumbering around the bases, and he's getting fanned off in the dugout. Bryce, the two-timer, lots of twos coming up. Bryce had struck out 2 times, but the two-timer had a 2-run home run, so now he's up to 40 doubles, 29 home runs, and he has a 150 OPS plus since 2015. That is incredible. Schwarber had an RBI hand-delivered from the baseball gods that kicked off of Aaron Ashby. Edmundo Sosa, he scores easy. Zach Wheeler, he threw 77% fastballs in this start, and it worked out. 6 strikeouts over 7, just 1 earned run. He's down to a 2.56 ERA. Trey, he made it a non-save opportunity on the RBI single. Phillies' magic number is now down to 1, and they are looking primed for yet another deep playoff push. For my guys that stayed this late in the video, let me know. Who do you think is going to make the World Series in the AL and the NL? So unlike the Phillies, Arizona is not looking their best to end the season. They're now 4-6 their last 10 after dropping 2 in a row to the Rockies. Jacob Stallings and Jordan Beck, they both got to Jordan Montgomery, who was just added back to the rotation. He has no excuses anymore. He's had plenty of time to get his timing back, and he's essentially been pantsed start after start. Like, they're just embarrassing and torching the guy. Ezekiel Tovar with another home run. That's back-to-back games. He's got 25, and then a few moments later, he had an RBI single to score another run. He's going to end up with 800 extra base hits. I don't know if it's going to be that much, but he is just so good at finding gaps. Brenton Doyle, he is a vacuum out there in center field. He helps Ryan Feltner go 6 2/3, only 1 run. And Hunter Goodman just went 440, his 5th home run his last 7 games. Now that Elias Diaz isn't with the team, I think that Hunter Goodman, the fact that he's getting more reps, maybe that's all that he needed. Christian Walker, it's nice to see him get into one before this game got pushed way out of reach because the Rockies went up 8-2 on RBI singles from McMahon and Rogers. The Rockies, I'll give them credit. They have some really solid offensive pieces. They just need starters, but that's probably never going to happen because why would a starting pitcher go to Coors Field? The Blue Jays were already up a few when Vladdy hit a baseball, and he had no idea where it went, but it dropped on the right side of the diamond for a 2-run double. He's got 42 doubles and 3 more base hits on this one. The Rangers immediately answered back with an RBI double from Wyatt Langford, who has been insane the last few weeks, and they actually tied it after multiple errors from the Jays. That started an awful 4th inning because the Rangers used a hit by pitch, a sac fly, and a few singles to go up by 4. Adolis drove in a pair, and Nathaniel Lowe, again the brother of Josh Lowe, got it to 7 runs. But this was a crazy game. Toronto, they're right back in it. Davis Schneider has 3 home runs. He's really come crashing back down to earth after really having a historic start to his career. I'm hoping that he can heat up again. From there, though, it was all Rangers as Jonah Heim, he stole the lead back with an RBI single, and Wyatt, he was able to muscle out an Oppo Taco, 3 base hits, 2 walks. He got on base 5 times, 14 extra base hits, 22 RBIs, 4 stolen bases, a 930 OPS his last 29 games. Bo Bichette, I forgot to mention that he's back. That's his first RBI in months, but it didn't mean anything because Leote, he smoked a 2-run home run, and yeah, the Rangers, they take this slugfest 13-8. Last game of the day, Taylor Ward scores. Charles LeBlanc on, I don't know why I say it like that, I just like the French accent, okay? He had a base hit through the hole, and Eric Wagaman, I mean, this dude's a wagon. He doubled the lead, his first ever non-extra base hit in the big leagues. His first 4 were all extra base hits. Nolan Schanuel, there's an extra base hit of his own, an RBI double. His OPS plus is officially over 100. Wagaman, who is this guy? 110 off the bat, 435 feet. He has back-to-back games with the home run, so it's now 5-0 after a wild pitch. They had 5 consecutive innings with the run score, talking about the Angels. Believe it or not, the White Sox had won 3 games in a row coming into that game, but they're held without an extra base hit. And a tip of the cap to Griffin Canning, who went 6 scoreless on 6 strikeouts. He's so confusing because some days he's absolutely unhittable, and other days he's the worst pitcher in baseball. Check this out. His last 3 starts, he allowed 1 earned run, then 10 earned runs, and then 0 earned runs. That's Griffin Canning for you. That was a monster recap. Thank you guys so much for watching until the end. If you did, I'm not going to waste any more time. Have a great rest of your day and enjoy the web gems. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Ground ball up the middle. Diving stop by Rocchio. Gets up, throws, got him. Line drive left field, Hack charging, sliding in.
Is there, the batting average is there.
Barehand Marte. And a ground ball left side. Nice scoop by Lewis. He'll pop and throw him out.
Little tap, shortstop charged by Story, and the throw is in.
To short, De La Cruz. That's not a catch. Flip is
up the middle, ranging is Bogart. Spins and fires, and it's dug out.
Fighting for
out to center, McCarthy.